Hey, welcome back, multifamily investors. I'm looking at last week's sales, and we had 11, mostly all duplexes, one triplex, I think, here, and two fourplexes or so. Wanted to show you, though, days on market things. I mean, for the right deals, these duplexes go to house hackers really quick. First week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. And then a couple that had been sitting for a while that were struggling. So I will dive into these and show you. Keep in mind, by the way, this is not every single one that transacts. Like I'm working on a triplex that's off market right now, and that won't show up in this list. So there are off market deals happening, right? And other commercial brokers don't always put them in the MLS. But this is, for the most part, in these small multifamily under 20 units or so, you're going to get a good idea of what's transacting. So this first one was a fixer, had to be all cash. It was on the market about a month. They started at 430 or so and ended up selling for 368. It was, real tough value add type opportunity. So that's why it's cash only. This duplex in Puyallup was listed for 5 days. Pretty much got 5,000 over asking. Conventional buyers. Sumner duplex, which is just north of Puyallup, listed for 615, sold for 607,500 in 5 days as well. Conventional buyer. Duplex in Parkland, which is the South Tacoma area, listed for 750, and it ended up selling for 740. I mean, it's a bigger one in 1996 with bigger 3-bed, 2-bath units. But man, I am shocked at that price for that area. It's crazy, but people are paying. These are house hackers, like investors like you and me that are not going to be living there. Most of my followers are not house hacker types, but that's tough to make work as an investor. This one was kind of a special build out in renting. It was really overpriced. It's better for like a multi-generational type of thing. I mean, $1.1 million and ended up selling for 935. This duplex in Seattle, on the east side there, was listed for just about 1.2. It was on the market almost 4 months and sold for $1 million. This one in Queen Anne, it's again probably more like a multi-generational setup. Listed for 1.2, sold and took about over 5 months to get still over 1.1. This fourplex I actually toured in Everett when it hit the market. They did an open house. They had a good handful of 6-8 parties, I think, there over 2 days. So again, very active asset type, very active price point. I didn't think it was worth 1.2. They gave it a nice, aesthetic facelift on the outside, but inside the units were pretty rough and dated and needed more work. I thought, maybe a little under 1.1 would have been a better deal. But this is, I can't make decisions for all the investors out there. And some make good decisions, some make poor decisions. So this one, I really liked in Edmonds. This is a fourplex, but it was so cool. I just got to bring this one up. I just love the look of it, the vibe. Just a cool looking property, very mid-century, probably solid all around, decent location. Anyway, it was listed for 155. I knew that was a little tough. It sat for over 3-4 months, almost 4 months, and ended up selling for 1.4. Conventional buyers. This one in Ballard, I knew very well too. It's a triplex right across from the locks. It's where the canal is, where the sound meets going into Lake Union and stuff. Anyway, had a cool penthouse view one. I mean, it was listed for 1.8 and it sold in 9 days for basically for what they wanted to a VA buyer. Crazy. So cool property, $1.8 million. Get you 3 units. So, but good thing for that VA buyer, they're probably going to live up top, and the two below are going to subsidize that mortgage really well for them. And then this fourplex in Redmond, I knew was overpriced when it came on at $3 million, and sure enough, it sat for 5 months and ended up getting 2.172, and that's about right for the east side. And we don't see a lot over there, Redmond, Kirkland kind of stuff. It just wasn't zone crazy multifamily like we see in South King County, Tacoma, or even Snohomish. There you have it. About 12 deals or so, 11 deals, about average what we see week after week. There are other deals that are happening off market, of course, but this gives you a good understanding of how quickly things are still selling for small duplexes, what the prices they're going for. If it's a fairly decent to solid property in a competitive price in a decent area like Puyallup or Sumner or any of these places, they're going to go pretty quick. We are competing with house hackers. That's been the story for last few years. They can afford to pay a little bit more because they're not worried about cash flow. They're trying to reduce their out-of-pocket pissing away money on rent. So they're renting something for $3,000. They get into a duplex and it costs them $2,800 to live there. They're golden. It's the same amount of money plus they own something and they've got a tenant next door subsidizing their mortgage. Where you and I, other non-owner occupied investors, we have to try and make that thing make sense, cash flow positive, even cash flow even to positive above as much as possible from day one. I mean, we can take a little bit of loss if there's it's a value add deal, or we got to stabilize the rents. Maybe it takes 6 months to 12 months. But either way, we have to look at it different than house hackers. So keep that in mind when you're shopping, looking around. And thank you for watching.